Marton Fucsovics awaits you up at the GANT pop-up shop, just up the gangway there towards the clubhouse. If you'd like to join in with the prize draw, get an autograph, or indeed hobnob with the tennis literati at the GANT pop-up shop, just about now. Time to take your seats, ladies and gentlemen, for the second of our featured matches. Please welcome on court Marton Fucsovics and Frances Tiafoe. Now I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that the gentleman who's taking photographs of the players and the umpire on court is none other than Hugh Routledge, who has covered 42 Wimbledon championships. You may not thank me for saying that. Well, 44, he's just told me. He's also been a multiple winner of Sports Photographer of the Year, working for the Times and the Sunday Times, and he's here this week, and it's delightful to have you, Hugh. Winning the first of our featured matches this afternoon. The new generation are leading the now generation by 2 matches to 1 in the 2019 GANT Championships. For our second featured match, to the left of the umpire's chair on the Bentley side of the court, representing the now generation, delighted to welcome back Marton Fucsovics, who comes from Hungary. He's ranked in the ATP top 50, and he's raised already this year the ATP title in Geneva, and then he went on to reach the final of the Sofia Open also this year. He won Junior Wimbledon when he was 18 years old, and also made the final of the US Open Juniors. He's already an experienced tour professional, having played the likes of Wawrinka, Djokovic and Federer, and will be competing next week in the main draw of the Wimbledon singles. Please welcome Marton Fucsovics. And also welcoming back from yesterday, delighted to have both these players taking on different opponents today. We have Frances Tiafoe, age 21, from the United States. He's currently ranked 35th in the ATP rankings, and he's the 3rd youngest player, or he was the 3rd youngest player in the ATP top 30. Those rankings moving very, very quickly from week to week. During his time living with his family at a tennis centre, his talent for the game was spotted and developed from there, and as a junior, Frances rose to number 2 in the world, and he turned professional at the age of 16. But his highlights before then were winning the Orange Bowl in 2013 at the age of just 15, and also the US Junior National Championships. He was here last year as part of the next generation, went on to make it through to the 3rd round at the Wimbledon Championships, and since then he's won the Delray Beach Open, lifting his first ATP title, and he managed to reach the Australian Open quarterfinals this year, continuing his march up the rankings and ever deeper in the Grand Slam tournaments. So please welcome Frances Tiafoe. Still the fast 4 format. 4 sets, with sets best of 7 games, tiebreak taken at 3-all. We have sudden death deuces, and the net cord is live if the ball hits the net on the serve and the ball falls within the service box. The serve is live, producing some interesting and lively results. We're lucky enough to have blind judges and umpires from all over the world as they head to these parts, ready for the Wimbledon Championships next week. And once again, I'm delighted to welcome back from Brazil, in the umpire's chair, Ana Cavallo.
So, welcome Anna Smith and me, Tony Hawks, in your commentary box for this match, which in the part of the next V Now format is going to be a cracker, I think. Anna, what's your expectation here?
I think it should be a great one after both having convincing victories yesterday. I think Frances was looking really good against Tsonga, used the serve and the forehand to good effect, and Marton looks equally as good against Anton, so this should be a really interesting match.
And one of the nice things about the GANT champs, one of the many nice things, is that the 2 practice courts are very close to here, just over to the left. And I've been watching them both practice whilst for this, and they both, if you can tell from practice, they both seem to be on great form. Certainly, and they've both gone through quite rigorous practice sessions for this. You know, worked very hard, had coaches working them very hard, moving. So the one thing I do expect is for them to launch straight in and it to be at a high level right from the word go.
Most definitely. I think I watched a little bit in the break as well of both of them warming up, and like you said, the coaches were putting through their paces, doing a few basket drills as well, which is probably not what you'd necessarily see when they're warming up for a slam. They might be trying to conserve a little bit more energy, but these guys look ready to go, and I'm sure they'll be excited to get another match under their belt.
Because they know in this format that it's not going to be a 3-hour match, so they can actually push themselves. Oh, and also there's not quite so much at stake, let's face it. But so they were being put through their paces, and I expect to see them start at a high level. Difficult one to call. I think if I would have to, my favourite for this is Tiafoe, I think, you know, but just because the way he sort of seemed to go through Tsonga yesterday with relative ease, he just seemed to have the answer to everything Tsonga threw at him. But we'll see, because he's a different kind of player completely, this Hungarian. I should think he'll be a little bit more solid than Tsonga, would you? A little bit more consistent.
Yeah, I think he's got a bit of a different game style to what Tsonga kind of came out with yesterday, and seems to be practicing that underarm serve.
They're both practicing the sneaky one that I wouldn't be surprised if they'll throw that in at some point. One of the things that was a feature of apart from the tennis between Tiafoe and Tsonga, was the chats that they had every time they changed end. It was like they were, where are you living now then? Oh yeah. They're both not very good at these underarm serves at the moment. Anyway, Tiafoe isn't. But another nice feature of these championships is that the players can enjoy themselves. There's not a huge amount at stake in terms of massive prize money or ranking points, so they can enjoy themselves, practice some shots, have some fun, and they are very playful. With the atmosphere has been really lovely. There they are practicing the underarm serve.
No, it's not too often throughout the year that you kind of get to play these matches where you can have a little bit of a more relaxed atmosphere.
Yeah.
You can say they get to try out a few things, and kind of the crowd get to see a little bit more of their personalities away from the serious side, I guess, and it's nice for the spectators because it's not something they get to see too often.
They certainly enjoyed it yesterday. And would you, I know, because I put you on the spot a few times yesterday to make predictions.
I got them all wrong, I think.
So are you going to make a prediction for this one?
I probably should sit on the fence and not say anyone. But yeah, I think I'd probably go with your prediction and say that maybe Frances is the slight favourite, but then again, Marton is very, very solid, so...
And also, I think it's fair to say in this format, you know, it can turn on a few points. It will turn on a few points. Quite do enough with that forehand. And Marton wasn't it like a shot? The drills I was talking about meant that he's very sharp straight away. Oh, that's a lovely touch volley. Watch the movement here, the way he comes to the net there, and just a little quick little steps, isn't it, in tennis? It's like a little dance.
So important on the grass courts as well, you know, with the bounces, and also then getting up to those volleys just to make sure you're in the perfect position.
So volley play early on, trying to pick up, and invariably the ball is around your ankles as you come in. Players are so good at getting those returns back at your feet.
First game.
Fairly comfortable service game for Tiafoe. See if he can put any pressure on the Fucsovics. Both have been hugely successful juniors, haven't they? So they've, although Fucsovics obviously taken quite a long time to, this is one of his more successful years, I believe. So he's 29 now, from winning Wimbledon, Wimbledon Juniors at 18, he's had to wait a while.
Finish.
27, not 29. He'd hate me for that.
Giving him an extra 2 years.
Yeah. That's the sort of tennis I was expecting to see, a lot of movement around baseline and with these two, and both very quick. Two aces, consecutive aces, and the speed gun is saying that was 53 miles an hour. Might be a little bit out. It's a steam-powered speed gun we have here. It was a good return at his feet. done well here, Tiafoe. Got himself back
Receiver's choice.
to the sudden death point. Tiafoe's picking the forehand side, so it could be an early break. Certainly a chance. Oh, he's made it. That's a killer. On a sudden death point, it was a hell of a second serve. And this is the thing about Tiafoe, actually. He pretty much gets everything back.
Give a little cheeky fist bump and a come on as well at the end.
Yeah. So he's got the break. He's quite a playful character, Tiafoe. I think he likes mucking around. Oh, that's it. That's what you get for doing the serve and volley play 2 in a row. Very rare you see that. They throw it in, don't they, as a little play, and then try to surprise people with it.
And also when you just go for the kick kind of second serve,
Yeah.
if you don't get it quite kicking up off the court enough, it makes it easy pickings, just like that smash.
Yeah. So, such a solid performance from Tiafoe. Okay, got a bit of luck to get the break, but he's. I was watching him in the practice and went close up, and I didn't realise his grip on the forehand was quite as extreme as it is. It's a long way around. It's almost like the Western. I suppose that's. Yeah.
I think he's enjoying another chat.
Yeah, he is. He's a chatty guy, actually. He's chatting to I'm making the umpire laugh now, I think.
He is quite a funny guy.
Yeah.
Time.
Have you see who he's got in the draw? Is that something we can get our team of researchers on? Who is the first big name he'll come up against? Because I think he's capable of upsetting somebody on the. Look at that.
Oh, get over.
That was good tennis. The chip and charge, drop volley. Great to watch.
Francis actually plays Fanini first round.
He's a difficult character, isn't he? More of a clay court player, but on his day, he beat Murray in the Davis Cup, didn't he? On clay. He knows what he's doing, but I would fancy simply because he's having this Who knows? I wonder what Fognini's doing for preparation for this in terms of like practicing on grass. He's the kind of player that might just turn up and go, I'll give it a go, and then go home.
You'd probably think he... oh, I think he might be playing one of the exhibitions somewhere else.
Yeah.
Not at Boodles. I can't remember the other one, but
Okay.
Fucsovics is playing Denis Novak, first round. I think he's a qualifier.
Uh-huh.
40-30.
Just blocks that down the line.
Game Fucsovics. Tiafoe leads by 3 games to 1.
So serving then for the first set in this format, Tiafoe. Slips, gets back up. What do you think of that, Anna? It's a bit like he broadcast that a bit and then gave it a lot of height.
I think everyone in the crowd knew that he was going for a drop shot there.
Yeah, it was not his best shot.
Might need a little more disguise on the next one.
Yeah.
30-15.
That's a shot on grass that is very effective in the slice. When the ball is moving away all the time and staying low, so difficult for Fucsovics to deal with.
Also a little bit shorter than a regular slice as well, which makes it even harder for the opponent to get to.
So there you go, a fairly convincing set. It was one break of serve and it was just that let cord really on the return. That was, so it's tiny margins, isn't it? Looks like a 4-1 looks like a convincing set, but it was a one shot and a let cord. The difference between them.
That's where those juice points again, and when you get a net cord like that, it's can be a little bit frustrating.
Because in the other format, the traditional format, you know, that would be lucky and it would get you then a break point, and then you'd, you know, the server might well whack down an ace and you're back in it. And so, but we were talking earlier when you were having your little break, Luke and I were discussing this format, and my suggestion to tennis is in the Grand Slams to have 3 juices and then a sudden death point. Because I think the match, especially the best of 5 set matches, you know, sometimes there's a game that can go on, points are long anyway, and then, you know, you as a spectator have got to sometimes set aside over 3 hours to commit to watching a match, and I think it should be over within 2.5 hours a match myself.
Yeah, no, I think it's one of those tricky ones. You know, you want to obviously make the slams important and have the scoring system kind of the way it is, but then also, I suppose from a player's perspective, it's you look at some of the matches, you know, that the guys have played in there, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours long, and and then you look at the kind of Isner Mahou match as well, and even the Kevin Anderson. I think it was John Isner match as well. That was just crazy how long it was, and obviously then he's completely exhausted for the next match, and it kind of just takes it away a little bit.
It's not right, is it? It becomes about endurance. It becomes a different kind of game then.
Yeah, it almost doesn't end up being about tennis. It's kind of just a battle to survive out there.
Yeah.
And that's
injuries can come as well in
yeah,
that
exactly.
situation.
Game, Fucsovics.
It's a good service game. But could this format work for the women's game? This particular one we're playing today, rather than best of 3 sets as they play at the moment, to play, you know, best of 5, but a shorter set.
I don't know if the women would be so enamoured with this format, to be honest. Yeah, I think they'd probably want to stick with how the scoring system is at the moment.
Yeah.
Especially probably the leg courts as well.
Well, it's more of an issue for the men's game, isn't it? Really, the 5-set games can just go on for so long, whereas, you know, a great close match in the women's is going to be 2 hours long.
At worst case scenario, you know, slightly over 3 hours. I think maybe one of the longest has been like 3:45, but that's also because it's been on a clay court as well.
Oh, that is a spectacular shot. I have that one down as the shot of the championship so far for me. See, hopefully we can see that again. Might not have time. He's applauding it there. That's great. He's playing a very good game here. Fucsovics got himself 4 break points. Just up the tempo in this game. Okay, 30's coming back, Tiafoe. Oh, didn't need to do that. It's a hell of a lob from Fucsovics. I don't think if this had been Wimbledon, I don't think he would have done that myself. I think he would have run round one side of it. But a brilliant game from Fucsovics to make the break. Hit one stunning shot in there. I don't know whether we can see that again when we change ends. I shall put in a request to our team when we change ends to see the forehand he ran down and hit. Careless.
Just overcooked that one a little bit. It was a great serve.
Oh, beautiful volley. Tiafoe wasn't quite able to get it wide enough, and he played a beautiful touch volley.
40-15.
Oh,
40-13. Game Fucsovics.
It's good serving.
So we lead by 3 games to love. Second set.
Let's see if Tiafoe has a bit of a chat with him here. He does. What's it where in the tournaments where they're allowed to have their coaches that sit
On the
with
men's
them?
tour, on the men's they're not allowed. It's just the women's.
Yeah. How do you feel about that? Do you think there's much a coach can really do, or can it put them off? Can the players get fed up with their coaches sometimes?
I think a coach can make a massive difference. Obviously, they can notice tactical things, or give you some technical advice if there's something just a little bit off with a shot, or even just to calm you down or reassure you. So I think it can make a massive difference. I guess it's the debate about whether it's right or not, especially as some girls or some players can't afford to have coaches traveling with them all the time, and then obviously there are others who can. So in that sense, is it fair and equal? And obviously, tennis being an individual sport, should you be allowed to have someone who comes on the court to help you? It's kind of pros and cons of both sides of the argument.
Fucsovics is on a roll here. This might be our first 4-love set of the whole tournament, actually. If he pulls this off. He looks like he's going to. He's got himself 4 set points.
Game second set, Fucsovics. 4 games to go. 1 set over.
Well, that was an impressive set from Fucsovics, wasn't it? It was like just went up a gear.
He did. I think Frances may have gone down a little bit in that set, but
well, to be honest with you, if he hadn't done the showboating shot between the legs and he'd run round that, he would have been, if he'd won that point, he'd have been back to deuce from love 40. He could have held serve, and it could have all changed. So he was having a bit of fun, wasn't he? Which he can do in this format.
he was 2 sets in 24 minutes. It's unheard of.
It's quick, isn't it?
I suppose that's what makes it a little bit more interesting for the spectators. It's rather than one set taking 50 minutes to an hour. You've got 2 sets done in 24 minutes.
I think it works the best on not necessarily on a situation where there's lots of change. It looks Tiafoe's got some coaching coming in now. I don't know whether we can see that, but his coach is sitting with him, or someone is.
Time.
On a set where they're just kind of holding serve all the way through, and you have to wait all the way till 6-all for there to be any kind of resolution. At least at 3-all you get a tie break here, and you can move on to another set. Sometimes there are matches that are won 7-6, 6-7, 7-6, 6-7.
7-6, yeah.
Yeah.
15 love.
That can be part of the excitement, though, I guess, who plays the tie breaks better, and comes down to a point here and there.
But yeah, but you can, in this format, you can just have them a little bit earlier in the set, so the audience haven't, you know, or the crowd haven't got to commit to 3.5 hours of watching one match.
Very true, but it's hard as a player when you know that if you lose your serve once, you're pretty much done and dusted for the set. It's kind of mentally quite tricky, whereas if you know you play a regular set to 6, then even if you do get broken, you still have a few chances to get that break back.
The interesting thing is most of the year they'll just play best of 3 sets, won't they? It's just in the Grand Slams they suddenly have to endure these really long matches.
But that's what makes it so special about the people who do. Another one comes down.
Yeah. So he throws an underarm one with and gets a let cord.
And a come on at the end there as well.
I think the unwritten rule of that is this: if it's 40 love, you can do it. It's nice to see this camaraderie and fun on court. It's took that really early, didn't he? Came in behind it. Great grass court tennis. Caught Tiafoe by surprise. Oh, there's a net call. Just still feels so weird when you see it happen.
I still can't quite get my head around it, and I'm only watching, let alone playing.
Yeah. Big second serve. Okay, so I think we're be an interesting set this. Good tennis. Fucsovics prepared to take on and come to the net. There he is, a little bit late deciding to come in, wasn't he? So he's caught behind the service line. It's kind of no man's land.
It's great court coverage from Frances, though. Covering every blade of grass.
First service.
Oof. slightly wild double fault. They were both out by a long, long way.
I think he tried to hit him on the first one because he was standing so far inside the baseline, so he thought, I'm going to go for him.
GANT Fucsovics. The ratings 2-1. Third set.
Tiafoe's just chattering away to me. That's a funny character. I'd love to hear what he's saying.
We need to see if we can get a microphone down there tomorrow if he's going to be playing again.
It's difficult to know if they're talking about this match or whether they're just chatting about the tour in general or the weather. It's just what do you chat about in this situation?
Time.
But he was doing it yesterday as well. It's great to see.
Knowing Francis, it could literally be about anything.
And he's 21. He's a very young man, but he's got a great assuredness about him.
That's good.
15-1.
Quite an experienced 21 though, isn't he? If he won the Orange Bowl in America at 15. But he's played a lot of tennis.
Very tough tournament to win, especially at 15.
Nice tennis.
15.
These are the kind of points that you get on grass that you tend not to get on other surfaces. They should have gone down the line there. I think Fucsovics would have wasn't the best of drop volleys from Tiafoe.
GANT
2-2. A couple more holes. I've got a feeling we're going to be heading for a tie break in this set. They're looking solid on their serves. Let's just see what happens here. And the back of the court gets harder, doesn't it, as they work on it, so that the bit near the net's quite soft, the ball doesn't bounce up quite so high, so those little drop shots are very effective.
There's love.
My grass court tennis was based around getting to the net and mishitting a volley short. That would be the way to win the point.
I'm sure you didn't miss any volleys.
Oh, it's a lovely return.
15.
Moving forward all the time. That's a great low volley.
Game Fucsovics. Fucsovics leading by 3 games to 2.
There's a great technique on that last volley because it was a tough one, but he got it to a very good length as well. And if you don't get that volley to good length, the players are so good at picking off passing shots, aren't they?
I think that's probably one of the issues as to why the guys don't come forward as much nowadays. It's you literally have to hit an amazing volley to be in control of the point, and the guys move so well around the court that there's not that much space to hit these volleys into. But I think I saw Fucsovics practicing those in the warm-up before the match, and it's obviously paying dividends there on that volley.
Yeah. There we are. We've got a shot there of a trio of people, 2 drinkers and 1 person on Facebook.
Time.
All listening to our commentary, of course.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Feeling low.
21 mile an hour down the middle. Oh, he is so quick. I don't know how he made that one.
15 low.
Watch, I just didn't think he was going to get there. And to slip it down the line like that.
I have a feeling Frances might have won that point if he hadn't lost his footing, but
Oh yeah,
that was very quick from Fucsovics to get that ball.
go. And that's it. It could. That shot could make the difference because it's got a window of opportunity here. Nearly gave him a chance. There, he's headed straight back to him. He could have well have flicked that over his head. It's the right shot when you're out of position like that. Throw it up high, give yourself time. Hope the wind blows it back in. Tie break.
Game Tiafoe. 3 years old. Tie break.
These are the way these two are playing at the moment. If this was a match at Wimbledon, it would be a long match. There's not much between them, is there? You could see it being a 7-6, 6-7, 7-6, 6-7. You know, it's very, very close.
One zero Fucsovics.
It's been an interesting tiebreak. They both seem to have found their rhythm on their serve.
Is someone going to catch it? No. That's the drive volley. Let's see this here. Bang. The wind is getting up now. I did this yesterday, around about tea time.
1, Tiafoe.
Oh, nice wrong footing backhand.
So,
Still nothing between them.
One of you guys?
Come on, ball girl, get your act together.
3, 2.
Straight at the body, scrunched him up there, couldn't quite get out of the way of it, could he?
Oh.
3 all. Round they go. Still no mini breaks in this tie break. Supposed to go round without doing anything. They always stop and have a drink, don't they? Or in this case, with Tiafoe there, they have a bit of a chat as well.
Should get his own talk show, shouldn't he?
Yeah. Wind out there now. Oh, superb play from Fucsovics.
4-3.
It's the first mini break. Just opens up there, finds the corner of the court.
Oh!
Five, 3. Fucsovics.
There we are, at 1 point, and it's 3 set points now for Fucsovics, although the linesman, the umpire's calling Fucsovics. And there it is, strange choice of play from Tiafoe threw in a second serve there, didn't he? And then came in behind it. Got a big serve, but he hit it at 70 odd miles an hour. So our predictions not looking solid at the moment. I was just explaining, I'm calling him Fucsovics and the umpire's calling him Fucsovics. There's other things you can call him as well, but I think he yesterday corrected Paul Mendelsohn introducing him and said, call me Fucsovics, so I'm going with that. What are you going with?
Marton.
Marton.
Marton. I think I might go Marton, yeah.
No.
Can't go wrong with that, unless I'm saying that wrong as well.
But that was he played some stunning shots. He's played some brilliant shots today. Fucsovics is so fast. He's run a couple of huge shots down. He's got himself ahead.
It's just carrying on the good form from yesterday. It's nice to watch. His serve is looking really lovely, and that forehand, like you said, he's been so quick around the court, chasing down balls that you didn't think he had any chance of getting.
Yeah. Doesn't happen in this format so much, but sometimes you have a set in a Grand Slam that gets very, very tight, incredibly close, tense points in a tie-break, and then the beginning of the next set is quite flat, isn't it? They're just both players go off the boil, but you do get quite tense in a match, don't you? Quite uptight. Just miss out on a set, and there's either a sense of relief if you won it or disappointment if you've lost it, but it can go flat.
Especially in the best of 5 sets as well. I think, you know, you kind of, especially if you lose one of the first 2 sets and it's tight, you kind of have a little bit of leeway to play with, and you know that your opponent's still got another 2 sets to win, so you can kind of afford it, even more especially if you won that first set, and you know it's a 7-6 and kind of an epic set, then you kind of maybe have that letdown, and you kind of know you've got a bit more comfort because you've won that first set. But it must be hard for the guys. Obviously I've never experienced playing 5 sets.
Have you ever played 5 sets against anyone?
No, never. I've played a few 7-6 in the thirds, but that's about it. And even when I've played, I know when I've had a long first set and managed to come through that, it's you kind of struggle not to have that letdown in the second set.
Yeah, the reaction to it,
because you put so much effort into winning that set. It's kind of only natural to kind of feel just a bit flat after, but then it's all about how you can regroup.
Wow. Really jumped and slapped that one.
Guys normally do that more with the backhand, the jump hit, but he did that on the forehand.
Game Fucsovics. 1-0 4 set. This is love.
Would you know, Anna, what the tour players do about their flights when they enter a Grand Slam? So they, presumably when they lose, they get online pretty quickly, and if they're not in the doubles, and get the hell out, don't they?
Pretty much. I don't think any player likes sticking around at tournaments that they've lost at.
Presumably and when they book their accommodation, are they optimistic, or do they?
Yeah, I think most of them will tend to book it for the whole duration, and then so they don't have to worry if you know, if all goes to plan. But I think there'll be very few of them who just book it on, go to the first week and then see how it goes. But
missed a couple in this game like that.
The second conference
And this could be a very big point for Tiafoe, this, because if he loses this, I could see Fucsovics just serving out for the match. Yeah, 2 more service games. And there's the shot. Very big point for Tiafoe.
The opponent by the games to 1-4-7.
He's chattering away. So, one of the nice things I think about the tour probably is the chance for these young people to meet people from all over the world. So Tiafoe, 21, American, can chat about what's it like in Hungary, what was it like growing up there. Is that the kind of thing that can happen on the tour? They can show a lot of interest in different cultures that they come across.
most definitely, I think when you do this job for a living, it's one of the perks of the job that you get to go to all these amazing countries and meet, you know, some amazing people from different cultures, and you get to learn about them and get to know them as people. And it's definitely something that I find is one of the highlights of the job. I've been lucky enough to meet so many different people from different places, and you know, still be in contact with them, and it's definitely something that's great about being a tennis player.
It's not difficult to make friends with them, given that you might be sort of drawn against them. Does that make it a little bit harder?
Yeah, a little bit, but you know, you also meet a lot of people inside of tennis who are not necessarily your competitors. You meet people at tournaments and things like that, and you know, friends of friends, and you kind of, well, you meet people that way as well.
Yeah.
It's not always just
players. Yeah.
just players as well.
Oh, he's thrown in. He does it at 40 love, Fucsovics. He's very good at it. He just, I don't know when we see that again. Just sort of,
He keeps his head down.
Yeah,
he just doesn't even.
Just look at that. Yeah, you don't know it's coming, do you? I think that's the unwritten rule. At 40 love, you're allowed to do it.
Love.
Got a nice love game behind him, Fucsovics, and the first point here, he'll be looking to try and press for a break.
What? What?
Oh,
Love.
risky strategy. High part of the net. Talked about that earlier today. Next time there's a shot, you can see those single posts that go in that people very often don't have when they're just playing on a sort of club court. They make the net quite a bit higher. There we are, you can just see them in those wooden posts in. Most people in clubs won't put them in for a singles.
What?
But it does make that part of the net a couple of inches higher than it is in the centre. just missed.
15 number 2.
If he'd made that, it would have given him what, almost match points.
What?
Oh, this is a
15-40.
bit. This is a bit careless by Tiafoe here.
I think Tiafoe thought the ball was wide.
Did he? Right.
What?
That's it.
Fucsovics.
So Fucsovics, who's been serving so well and hasn't dropped his serve since the first set when he lost a sudden death point on a let cord, looks like if he stays like he has been, should serve out, and both our predictions will be wrong.
Joining me in the wrong prediction side.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get some right tomorrow.
I don't know, yeah, he must have. There were a couple of drop shots in that game that were unwise from Tiafoe. But I don't know, I think he's just actually out for having some fun here, Tiafoe. I don't think he's taking it quite as seriously as he would if it was a Grand Slam event.
Most definitely not. I think he's just enjoying himself out there and enjoying playing in front of this crowd and trying a few different things out ahead of next week. But I don't think he'll be doing that drop shot that we saw in the last game too often.
He's played a great return there. So I'd like to see him get back in and see a tie break to finish this set. Let's see if he can do it. A heavy second serve. Time is running out for Tiafoe. He's got to do something here. Three match points to the 27-year-old Hungarian.
Are you sure it's not 29?
No, he's 27. He's for the now generation. Another point on the board. It's an incredible return. And he's hanging in there. Took it early, Tiafoe. Cut it out. Still two efforts to win it on the serve. You'd still fancy him. That is it. Big forehand gives it to him, really went for it. Fine performance from a player that many of us won't have heard of, but he's having a hell of a year and going up the rankings.
GANT Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, please thank Marton Fucsovics and Frances Tiafoe. That is it for tennis action today. We are back again tomorrow for the climax of the event. Hope you'll join us then. In the meantime, have a very safe journey home and good evening.